very much.
Now, can you imagine, Jack? Can you imagine anyone out of the current parliament getting that sort of reception in Israel?
Nah, nobody in that parliament would get that kind of reception in Israel. No.
Absolutely not.
Rupert Lowe might get it, but I don't see anybody else in that parliament ever getting it.
With all due respect to Rupert, mate, I don't think anyone would really know him out there. This is the thing. Tommy's appeal is not just national. It's international. Jack, before I move on to the next caller, was there anything else you wanted to get off your chest quickly?
Yeah, I wanted to get my chest on this. About Nick Tanconi and UKIP. Do you think Nick Tanconi would get that kind of treatment if he was on stage with Tommy Dent? Do you think he would? I think he would.
Well, only the fact that they wouldn't know him as much as they know Tommy. This is the thing, you know. I know you're a big Nick Tanconi fan. I've on the record myself for saying, look, I like Nick. But at the end of the day, this is a very fast-moving situation. I would like to see Nick potentially join Advance, but that's another subject for another evening, Jack. So thank you very much for popping on. As always, I really appreciate it. Thanks, mate. Kevin, you're next. Kevin, good evening.
Good evening. Nice to see you again, Paul.
And you, mate. How are you?
Really good, but I just can't tell you how proud I was of Tommy.
Unbelievable, wasn't it?
It brought a tear to my eye. Seeing him get that response, he deserved every single cheer, every single handshake, everything. It's like it really did. Not just a tear in my eye. I was crying. He deserved every single bit of it. Anyway, it's just one thing I was thinking of. We're always looking for new members and putting a hand of friendship out to people. What about all these Muslim women and girls that are suppressed in their own faith? Why doesn't the Christian church reach out to them?
Oh, that's a very good point. It's a very good question. I'm not sure that the church reaching out to them would particularly do them any favours. I think...
But wouldn't it be great if there could be a sanctuary for them to leave where they are? You just imagine how many of them are suppressed by their own families, but they've got nowhere to go.
And for anyone watching that thinks we're just a bunch of Islamophobes, if that's even a word, I mean, we care about those people. We don't want to see anyone being, suppressed and badly treated. I think it's a problem that is so deep in that society. I'm not sure that we can ever solve it, to be honest. But I mean, look, it's a good idea. I mean, I think the thing now is with Tommy, after he's been out in Israel this week, when you look at all the videos, he's been pumping out the content there. So, well done to him. For me, and what this video tonight is all about, what this stream tonight is all about, is JD Vance, Donald Trump. Look, here's your man. Forget Keir Starmer, the man that you turned your back on the other day and made him look a complete lemon. How about inviting Britain's real leader over to the White House? Get him over there. Get him over with Elon Musk. Get him over there with Donald Trump. Get him over there with JD Vance. Get him in the White House and show America who our real leader is. And it ain't Keir Starmer.
The problem is that everyone just seems to be just not willing to take that one extra step. That one extra step up to the line and put their hand out to him. You know what I mean? It's so frustrating.
Trust me, Kevin, it's coming. Trust me. We've been working on this for a very long time. Trust me, it is all slowly falling into place. Not everyone knows what goes on. Not everyone knows what goes on behind the scenes. But believe me, there are people out there working like you wouldn't believe to make this sort of thing happen. And it's all falling into place. It's all, it's all coming at the right time. But now America, Tommy is beckoning, and it's his time.
Isn't it good that the sort of like when you see Tommy up there, he can handle all that. The biggest stage in the world, and he just breezes it, doesn't he? He does. I mean, look, he's a total natural.
For a working class lad from Luton, I can't tell you, unbelievable.
Yeah, take my hat to him. Anyway, I'll let you go. That is
all the best, Kevin.
Yeah, that is as I say, it's been probably my best week for a long time. Just
Good
watching
man.
him out there doing his thing.
You
It's
get
brilliant.
some kit, mate. You get some kit. God bless you, Kevin. Take
See you
care,
later.
mate. See you
Bye.
later, mate. Bye-bye. An old friend of mine is up next. Charles, how you doing, Charles?
I am all well, thank you, Mr. Paul. How are you?
Oh, I'm very well, my friend. What's going on? What's on your mind?
Oh, not an awful lot. I just thought that I would stick my head on just to say hello for a change. I haven't spoken to you for a very, very long time.
We haven't.
Nice to see the things happening over in Israel. Nice to see Mr. Robinson getting the recognition that he deserves over there. I think he's better thought of, certainly by the politicians there, than he appears to be over here by the sort of mainstream political movements. But at the end of the day, I think we're living in times of change at the moment, Paul, is what my thing is. I did tell you a long, long time ago when we first met, I thought we were only a couple of steps away from potential civil unrest, and I think it's going that way.
Yeah, so it proves you were absolutely right, to be fair. Charles, you know, you're a Jewish gentleman yourself. How are you finding the anti-Semitism in general around the country at the moment? If you could just maybe turn your volume down a little bit, Charles, I'm getting a bit of feedback there.
Turn my volume down. Hang on.
Yeah, if you can a bit.
How's that? Is that any better?
That's better, yeah.
To be honest with you, Paul, I mean, I grew up in the centre of London, as you know. I now live and am based down in sunny South Wales, although not so sunny today.
Not so sunny, yeah.
I'll be honest and tell you, I don't see anti-Semitism down here as such. In other words, what I do see, though, and I mean, I've got quite a lot of Jewish clients, you know, involved with the business that I'm in, etc. And I've spoken to a few of those. A couple of them live in, you know, quite affluent areas in North London, and they tell me that it is definitely getting worse. But I think also that is, dare I say, it's partly the problem that
Charles, I'm going to have to stop you there, mate. I'm really sorry, but your audio is screaming back at me. Just say that last bit again. Let me see if we can rectify it.
Right. Okay. I was just going to say that I think one of the biggest problems is the fact that many people regard Jewish and Israeli as one and the same thing.
Charles, unfortunately, mate, I don't know why, but we can barely hear you. I'm going to have to see if you can fiddle around with your audio, and I'll bring you back in. Thanks, mate. The Patriotic Christian, Byron, good evening, mate. How you doing?
Good evening, Paul. Long time no see.
Long time no see, mate. How you doing? What's on your mind?
Oh, mate, I've been so busy. It's unreal. Local activism kills you. I will tell you that.
You've been a busy boy, yeah?
Yeah, I have been. But more recently, and I'm sure we can all we're all guilty of this crime, and it's like winning the lottery. You never think something is going to happen to you. And I've been doing activism around the migrant hotels and doing my bit with my channel, so on and so forth, building a platform or a movement, if you like, where I live.
Just give your channel a quick shout out, mate.
Yeah, so my channel is the Patriotic Christian UK. I did have one prior, however, it got deleted because I uploaded videos showing the gangs on the other side during the Southport riots. They deleted it, and Prevent got involved, so on and so forth. But yeah, I'm back now, got this channel, so yeah, we're doing it again. But yeah, so like I said, as you know, we're all guilty. We don't think it's going to happen to us. But the other day, I get a distressing call from my partner. She's on her way to the doctors to pick up a blood test form and a prescription. And on her way down, 3 migrant men came out of nowhere, and she was a bit suspicious. So she started walking a bit faster. And when they realized she was walking a bit faster, they began running, sprinting towards her and my daughter. She then had to pick up our little one, literally run across oncoming traffic. So all these cars are going nuts. and they were being aggressive with the cars, violent behavior towards the drivers. And she had to run to a bus stop full of people with her wisdom, which is great. I'm glad she's so wise to do this. Know that, go to where there's people. And it was only that point that they turned around and backed off. And while she was there, she was talking to an elderly gentleman, and he said, I'm so sorry you've had to go for this. My little one has learnt now, not just her world is unsafe, but she's unsafe, and so is her mother. And but this elderly gentleman, he said, I have to walk my partner here 6:30 in the morning, bang on, because I need to make sure she is safe, and it gives me as a man the reassurance that she is safe. And another lady that was there also said, this is a hotspot. This area in Barry in South Wales, it's become a hotspot for sexual harassment and God knows what else from locals who are staying at the Holiday Inn. So I put a post up on one of this is the worst thing about it all, is I put a post up for awareness to share the incident, what had happened, and to make people know what's going on in that area.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to offer a service to those who couldn't afford it as well. I offered, if any women feel unsafe and can't afford our alarm, the safety alarms, I won't say, that we would provide them one. And all I received was backlash. There was no sympathy for what happened to my partner and daughter. It was, this is far-right propaganda. This is God. And one of the males on there who literally went out of his way to go through my media platforms to get personal information about me personally. He actually put a comment on there saying, how about I give you a new liver? Because obviously I'm awaiting a liver transplant. And you come meet me and we have this out man-to-man, face-to-face. I was gobsmacked. So I had to remove the post, and I just couldn't believe the hostility I was met with. So I thought, well, here again, just like in the local area where I live, this place is now a place where people are treading on eggshells, where they are too scared to say what is on their minds, just in case they get labelled. And we all know what happens. If you get labelled, you become a target. We've seen it with Charlie Kirk, Tommy, Farage, myself, and it's appalling. So, yeah, that's.
How is she now?
Pardon? Well, my partner's still a bit shaken up. Obviously, my daughter, it's a hard one. They're asking questions. Obviously, my boy as well. He's aware of it. He's growing up. He's 12, and he's becoming a man. He's going through that age of where he's getting feelings and he's getting angry, and he wants to protect his mum and his sister. But it's, for me, I feel somewhat responsible as well, because I have a duty as a family man to protect them.
Sure.
And being in England, looking after my family and awaiting just a phone call to go and get a liver transplant, I have to stay here, and I can't protect them all the time. I'm only there half a week. So it really made me angry that I wasn't there, because I know they wouldn't dare. They wouldn't have dared have done anything if I was there. It was the fact that this woman and a child was on their own. They seen that as this is a hunt. Let's go chase them. I don't know what. I dread to imagine what would have happened if my partner went deeper into the area.
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about that. But what my message is to some people is, what will it take? What is it going to take for people to wake up? And Tommy makes a very good message with this, and he did this on stage last night in Israel, where he said, we are literally one incident away from civic unrest or God knows what else. And I hate to imagine what it is going to be, that tipping point on when the British people wake up, left and right, and actually, say enough is enough.
Yeah.
And it could be a repeat of the Beslan massacre. It could be another terror attack. It could be, I don't know what it is. But
mate, do you know what I think, Byron? Do you know what I think sometimes? The only thing that'll wake up some of our men is if they cancel the bloody football. I'm sick of it.
Exactly that.
I'm absolutely sick of it.
Yeah, same. And but for Tommy last night, I watched him live last night. At first, I find it interesting. There was a heckler in there, and they got rid of him. But Channel 4 as well.
Yeah.
Why on earth are they following him?
Honestly, listen. At the end of the day, like I said earlier on, this is all slowly falling into place. Even his doubters are now opening their eyes, and look. People are not stupid.
No.
They might be daft, but they're not completely stupid. And eventually we will get through to every single one of them. The only unfortunate thing about what we do is we're often preaching to the converted. Now, my line is open to the world. My line is open to the world. If anyone wants to ring in, if anyone wants to call in and tell me why Tommy is a bad guy, come and tell me. Come and tell me. Don't just put it in the chat. Don't just write your bullshit on Facebook. Come on now, whatever, adult conversation.
Exactly.
And you tell me what part of Tommy's message is wrong.
They can't, Paul. This is the problem. And you look at September the 13th, the way the media painted it, it's so comical, because if you look at the footage, the drone footage, the real footage that Unite the Kingdom took of the whole of London, it was breathtaking. I wasn't able to make it, unfortunately. I wish I could, but there was other things that Rich Inman's aware of.
Yeah.
And so, but to see it, to see the people, because I've been there since the first one in June, and I've seen it grow from that little seed and blossom out into that beautiful scenes on the 13th. You can't discredit this guy.
Yeah.
You can't do anything more to him.
I mean, they've done it all to him. They've thrown the goddamn book at him, and his armour. Where that armour comes from, I mean, I don't want to be anyone's sycophant. I'm far too old to have any heroes, right? I've only ever had one hero in my life, and that was my dad, God bless him. But you've got to give it to this guy. Whether you love him or whether you hate him, you have to give it to this man. He has gone back again and again and again, and he's still fighting when other people would have run a mile. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's all now coming to fruition. I'm telling you, right, whoever's watching this, trust me when I tell you, it's America next, it's J.D. Vance next, it's Donald Trump next, it's the White House next. And I tell you why, because America understands. America gets this.
They've got their finger on the pulse of the people.
They've got their finger on the pulse. If Donald Trump hadn't have won that election, the UK was finished.
Yeah.
Finished.
Yep.
But thank God we've got an ally in our biggest ally in the world. We couldn't wish for a better ally. Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, they are people that love the UK. They love our culture. They love our nation. Thank God.
More than our leaders do.
More than our leaders do. And I'm telling you, Tommy's time is coming. Byron, I'm going to let you go, mate. I'm going to thank you so much for coming on. Best wishes and much love to you, your family, and I hope things improve for your brother. All the best, mate. That's Byron. Let's see if Charles's video is any better. Charles.
Is it the video or is it the sound?
No, mate. That's better. You're back on, mate, and you're all good.
Right. Okay. What I was starting to say before was you asked me about anti-Semitism. Have I seen an increase in it? I was saying that clients of mine, especially around North London, are telling me that anti-Semitism is up. It is not on the down. One of the things that I've noticed through watching a lot of the mainstream stuff is that there is very little differentiation between Jew and Israeli, right? Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but when I sort of first thought about this, I thought, okay, being Jewish, the same as being Muslim, is a religion. It is not a nationality, right? Yes, we know that Israel is the Jewish homeland and all the rest of it, but if some of the protesters that you see walking around London ranting and raving and they are talking about the Jews and whatever, like it is the Jews in this country's fault what is happening over in Israel, right? I got to say, as a Jewish person, I have to make a distinction, and that is, as I said, being Jewish is first and foremost a religion.
Yeah.
You may sympathise with some of the things that are happening in Israel. I personally don't agree with everything that Israel do, if I'm being brutally honest with you. Although I do think that if you look what happened a couple of years ago, they had to make a very definitive stand, which they have done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because of the way that Hamas operates.
You can't, Charles, you can't deal with those people.
No, you can't.
There's no dealing with these animals.
100%. Right? I totally get that. But again, I then look at some of the people who are out there protesting, on a Saturday, on these pro-Palestine marches, etc. And I'm probably going to come in for a lot of flack for saying this, but a lot of them probably couldn't point to Gaza on a map, never mind about anything else, right? Some of these people, I believe, are almost like career protesters, right? Interesting on a slightly different thing. I don't know if you've read what's happened in Italy or what's happening in Italy. They're banning the niqab.
The burqa,
that's something that I think should have been done here years ago, right? I really do. From a security point of view above anything else, right? I've for a long time said that if somebody wanted to commit an atrocity, a suicide bomber wanted to commit an atrocity, the answer is put the whole big gown on and everything else and the face covering. You could have a super skinny guy with lots of stuff strapped to them. You would never know it. And the fact is that, dare I say, you don't often, even if you stop at airports, how many times have you ever seen a Middle Eastern woman being thoroughly searched at an airport? I don't think I ever have.
Charles, let me tell you, my wife went home back to England a few weeks back.
Yeah.
She went through the security at Gatwick, and she, as a woman of a certain age, you know what they're like? They like to cover their shoulders and they don't want all their, so she had a jumper over her shoulders. They made her take the jumper off, and in front of her was a woman wearing the full gear. Yeah. Not a single word. Yet my wife had to remove her jumper from her shoulders.
But, this is, so, I think that would be a very, very positive step. But just to come back to the Palestinian or the pro-Palestine protests, etc. And I mean, I watch a lot of mainstream media. I watch a lot of stuff on YouTube as well, because I like to get balance. It's very, very easy to be dragged down the rabbit hole. I look at some of the coverage that's put on the mainstream, and I'm thinking it is so biased. It defies belief. It really does. I saw the September the 13th rally. I watched it on both mainstream and on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
The two things, it was almost like two totally different events, the way that they were being portrayed.
Yeah.
Now, I'm kind of inclined to believe the stuff that was on YouTube more. I think there were only a handful of arrests. If you compare that to, say, the number of arrests that they had at Nottingham.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Oh, it's no comparison.
There's no comparison. Anyway, to come back to your main thing, which you spoke about earlier, was the Tommy Robinson thing. I actually think that Tommy is gaining a lot of momentum. I think he's gaining momentum with, I think he's, dare I say it, transcending the class system a little bit. I think people who probably wouldn't have looked twice at him 10, 15 years ago are now looking at him as a serious individual, somebody who has the courage of their convictions. Again, I'm a great one for sort of proving things to myself. I've watched a lot of Tommy's stuff of recent times, and I got to say, everything that he says, he seems to be able to validate, which is an awful lot more than many of the mainstream politicians out there who talk garbage and can't validate half of what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question. Do you see Tommy ever being involved in a political party?
Well, he's joined Advance, which obviously I'm very, very pleased about. I believe Tommy is maturing by the hour. I mean, I've only met Tommy 18 months ago, and I've seen a difference in the way in which he conducts himself, in the way in which he speaks. He's just maturing in every way. The answer is yes, I do. Ultimately, yes, I do. I know he likes being a journalist, but I think and by the way, he is Britain's best journalist by a country mile. And that is why they hate him so much. They hate him because they fear him because he tells the truth and he's the only person in the United Kingdom that can muster 1 million men at the click of a finger. That's why they fear him. Charles, I'm gonna move on because I've got a lot of guests waiting, mate. Thank you. So just before you go, do you want to give your business a quick shout out?
Yeah, if anybody out there in these uncertain times needs a protection dog, then I am the person to speak to. A1K9 is my business. That's letter A, number 1, letter K, number 9. And we train family and personal protection dogs.
And I visited Charles's facility, and I can tell you couldn't go wrong. Charles, it's lovely to see you, brother.
Take care. Be good.
Look after yourself. We've got James up next, and then we got Missy after that. Let me just remove Charles. James, good afternoon, good evening, good afternoon. What am I talking about? It's 20 to 11 here. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, it's getting on a bit. Can you hear me all right this time?
I can hear you perfectly.
Good. A few more soft furnishings around here this time, and that, so hopefully a bit better experience.
That's better.
Obviously, I haven't got the fly the flag thing behind me, so we'll have to pick that up another time. What amazes me, I'm obviously putting quite a lot of stuff out online. Basically started with fly the flag, but I have actually picked up more pushing with the Tommy thing. I didn't really want to do that when I was trying to do just fly the flag to try and make it non-political. Because ultimately, I don't believe that flying the flag in your own country should even be a debate. When I came up with the idea of it, I was trying to quite literally do the simplest thing you could ask somebody to do. Because when they say, "Oh, what can I do? What can I vote here?" So I came up with a simple thing: fly the flag of your own country in your own country. So it's really amazed me how contentious it's been, and some of the responses that I've had. Now, clearly, you've had good responses as well, and you get people papping the hooter and thumbs up, but also you get a lot who can't even look at the flag. But then I'm purposely spiking people online because I'm trying to make sure that because you want to encourage people into the conversation. Otherwise, people are just on the outside of it. And I can't believe the stuff that kind of people come out with. I mean, obviously, they try and say you're uneducated. I say, okay, well, let's have a look. You've got 2 degrees, and I'm clearly doing better than you. Why don't you come on camera and debate me then? And then let's see who's the most uneducated. Yeah. And that's not me blowing my own trumpet. That's just because the problem is the longer they spend in education, the less intelligent they generally seem to be.
You're not one of these guys without a university degree that's made good for himself. There you go. I don't know if you saw my video yesterday. I spoke about that just yesterday, but there you go. Carry on, mate.
Yeah. So like today particularly, because I go through flurries of putting a lot of stuff on when I've seen stuff and it's made me think about stuff. So a lot of today I've been responsive and you're thinking, how can you not see this? They're all saying like, oh, you're delusional, you're indoctrinated by Tommy. And you go, all right, okay. So what do you think about the rape gangs then? Oh, well, he's a Zionist. You know, okay, it's funded by Israel. Okay, then. So have you got a problem then with the Jews having a homeland? I said, for me, I'm either way. I think the Jews should have a homeland. Why do you think if is a Zionist, what do you think that means beyond the Jews having a homeland? Why don't you have the conversation with me? And quite literally now, whenever people are getting into a row with me, I'm saying, well, come on, let's have you on camera and let's have a conversation about it. And I mean, face to face. And I've invited a few people now because I'm kind of saying, let's have a cup of tea. I'll bring the tea and you bring the biscuits. And we'll have to agree at the beginning that no matter how heated the conversation gets, at the end, we'll shake hands or we have a hug just to make sure that you can have a full and frank conversation. And the truth is, not just the loonies who literally can't give you a second antsy. You know what I mean? If you try and have the conversation,
Yeah, let's take them out of the equation. Yeah,
so we take them out exactly. But even people who you'd look at and you think you'd probably say hello to them in a bar. You know what I mean? And you might know they're missing, and you're thinking, how can you be this indoctrinated? Not just about, like I said, not so much about the flag. The flag is definitely not as, it's not gone across as easy as I thought. And I'm not bothered. I'll stick at it because I think that way, we've got a chance of making a difference. I suppose what I'm getting the most pushback for, I'm just thinking actually, it's not necessarily just Tommy. It's because I'm saying, watch Reform because they're being infiltrated. Back Advance UK, and everyone's saying, oh, you're splitting the vote and blah, blah. I said, well, how can you be splitting the vote? If Reform are polling as well as they are, then an upstart party like Advance isn't going to make any difference. But even if it was, we're 3.5 years out.
Yeah.
If I honestly believe that Reform support came down that much and Advance hadn't got going, I would run out and be banging the drum for Reform, even though with what they've done to me, which they've done to a lot of us, haven't they? But I'm big enough to take it on the chin and go, listen, I'll back these for now. I'll lend my vote to these. I'll lend my time to help get the vote out for them because that's for the good of the country. But like I've said to a lot of people, who's splitting the vote? It's Farage, Tice, and Youssef. Nobody else has pushed people out.
They could have had it all. They could have had it all.
Yeah.
James, I want to get your reaction to Missy. You are up next, darling. If you just hold on for a little while, I want to get your reaction to this rather unpleasant individual. After Tommy's magnificent and hugely successful visit to Israel this week, Daisy Cooper had this to say. Now, we know what she said in the House, but she followed that up on LBC with this.
Tommy Robinson has responded to your question with an expletive laden series of tweets and attacks on you personally. Do you worry that you're getting into something that's going to be quite nasty, a fight that's going to be very difficult?
Look, I stood up for my values today. I don't like seeing racism in our society. I don't like seeing far-right extremists causing violence on our streets. And those are things that I wanted to speak up for. I'm elected to do that, elected on that platform. And I'm encouraged by the messages of support that I've received from MPs of all.
I've had enough of that. But let me just go through a couple of bits there. Right. First of all, he says an expletive-laden reply. There was one word in there, shit. Right. Yep. I wouldn't call that expletive-laden, would you? Right.
Tommy doesn't tend to swear that much. Actually, he swears occasionally with passion, but I've noticed that he holds it back a lot because you realise that as soon as you swear, people focus on the swear word. So I don't. So even without hearing it, I don't believe it would be expletive laden either, rather than just you.
There was your first red flag. There was your first lie. She later says she was elected for that. No, she wasn't. She wasn't elected to slander Tommy Robinson in the House. And by the way, love, Daisy, you won't be elected for much longer because the next time the public get the chance your sorry ass is going to have to go back out to work. She spoke about the far right racism, violence on the streets. Daisy Cooper, where's the far right racism? Where's the far right violence on the streets? Because all the violence that I see is coming from the other side, and I'm going to say out loud, Daisy Cooper, it's coming from your side, no one else's, and you are partly the cause of it. With coming out with the bullshit that you come out with. Is that an expletive for you? You can throw that one in as well. James, I'm going to move on, my friend, because I've got Missy waiting. She's been waiting for ages. Lovely to see you, mate. Thank you so much for coming on. I will speak to you soon. Missy, you are up next. You've been waiting for ages. How are you doing?
I'm all right, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. What's on your mind?
Well, a few things really. I mean, first of all, Unite the Kingdom rally was the most amazing thing that I've ever watched in my life. The amount of people that came out was breathtaking. And when that the gospel singer sang Jerusalem, I sobbed because it was just so lovely and so patriotic.
Yeah.
And it's so nice to see people from all different backgrounds, and which, they failed to see. But luckily, I mean, I'll hand it to Trevor Phillips. He said it as it was. And, you know, I know he got into a lot of trouble for it. But he went and witnessed it for himself. He wanted to see what was going on. And he said it was just like you meet someone in a pub or in a queue. You know, if you're actually, say, I don't know, if you go and see a gig or something.
Yeah.
So, you know, that really helped. But last week, I decided I needed a break. So I left the country and visited Spain on the Costa del Sol. And I went over on my own. I haven't left the country in years. And I just got myself an apartment. My best friend joined me a few days later. I just really needed to go and clear my head. But you know what really, really amazed me and what brought a lot home to me is like one morning I woke up and I thought, I'm going to watch the sunrise. And I did it on my own.
Mm.
And as I was walking along, people said, hola, hola. It was amazing. No one bothered me. And I sat on the beach, there's quite a few people, and took photos of the sunrise. It was lovely. On the last day, my friend came out, I was sitting on the balcony, and she says, are you all right? And I absolutely burst into tears and said, I don't want to go home because I'm fed up of not feeling safe. I'm fed up of constantly looking over my shoulder. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are wrong-uns everywhere you go.
Of course, yeah.
You know, and I do have my, you know, my backup. You know, I'm in my mid-50s, but you know, even I get hassled. Yeah, and I think, well, for crying out loud, I'm an old woman. You know, why are you hassling me? But you know, but at the end of the day, it's like if I go to Asda. Yeah, I'm a genuinely friendly person. If I'm getting a trolley out and I see somebody else needs one, I'll hand it to them. I'll say, oh, here's one for you. And all I get is I get looked up and down like I'm a piece of crap. I don't deserve that. Yeah, because, and this is where it's got to the stage. And it just made me realise, I mean, I've been out the country for 18 years and just being out there, how free I felt. That I could walk around anywhere. I mean, I didn't go out at night. I'm not that sort of person. But even if I had, I'd have been fine. No one bothered me.
Yeah, and the police are everywhere as well.
Exactly, everywhere. And I was talking to a local. In fact, it's quite strange. He's offered me a job to go and live in Spain. And I spoke to my boyfriend about it, and I'm dead serious because if I know. It's just got to the point I am so sick of it. And now I've found out they're building a mosque in the next town. And I'm like, I've had enough. I have seriously had enough. I've had enough of being looked up and down like I'm a piece of crap.
And you're the outsider.
Yeah, I don't deserve that. I'm not a nasty person. You know, and I don't understand why they've been given so much, I don't know, power. And people just, you know, can't see it. But then again, the middle class, you know, they live in their little street, the suburbs. You know what? They're the most racist out of all of them. For one thing, they always say everyone's a person of colour.
Yeah.
Not, oh, I know Raj, I know, you know, whatever. They never say that. It's always, oh, it's a person of colour. And let's feel sorry for that person of colour. They don't want your pity. You know, they just want to, you know, most of them, I say there's only just one lot who don't want to integrate, but everyone just gets on.
Everyone just cracks on with it, don't they? I mean, it's so sad that you feel that. I mean, I meet people out here in Benidorm every single day of my life. People speak to me. I've had it today. I mean, every day. And by the way, Mark, if you're watching, lovely to meet you earlier on, brother. Thank you very much for saying hello. Every day I get the same story. I was talking to a couple yesterday, sort of older couple, and the guy was telling me that it's making him mentally ill back at home. It's just what they've done to us is incredible. What they've done to us is just unbelievable. Well,
you get like Julie Hartley-Brewer on Talk TV, and she'll say, oh, gosh, there's so many people off with anxiety. What they're going on about? Like, hello, love. Have you not seen what's going on in the country? It's not surprising people are off with depression, anxiety, and things like that. Because every time I walk out the door, which I can't walk out at night on my own. I mean, when I get in the car, I have to lock it. But everywhere I go, my guard is up. So I'm in fight and flight mode the whole time I'm out. That is wrong. When I was in Spain, my guard went right down and I chatted to different people. And it was absolutely amazing. It really was. And I know they have the beef with the English, you know, everyone does. I mean, I always make a joke, you know, we're surrounded by, countries that hate us, you know, the Scottish, Irish, Welsh, French.
I've got to say, I've been here 6 months now, and I've found the Spanish people will be absolutely wonderful. We've only had one instance where, you know, we felt there was a bit of anti-British feeling in a restaurant, but apart from that, it's been absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, everyone I met, it was only when I was at the airport at Malaga going home, and we tried to speak to someone, he just he goes, I know speak English. And he sort of like had a smile on his face. And I thought, you know, just walked off. But, you know, like all the time I was there, I've never felt it was like a different world. And I've got to the point, Paul, I hate this country and I don't hate anything, but I hate what's happening. And, you know, you get these idiots who say, oh, yeah, it was us. We built the railroads, innit? And we built all the buildings. Yeah, right. Seriously? You know, would you do the architecture of St. Paul's Cathedral? Did you actually build the railroad? No, it's down to navvies and people like that who did it. You know, and after the World War, we sorted you all out. No, you didn't. It was the Brits who had to bring it all together. And then people came in. You know, and this is what really annoys me. I mean, the rewriting history, and I don't agree with that. And people are just falling. I mean, are they so stupid that they're falling for this?
I'm afraid there's a lot of stupid people out there, Missy. But you know, look, keep your chin up. I don't know what advice to give people anymore. I mean, I don't want to keep saying to people, you know, leave the country, get out, whatever. I mean, people can do only what they can afford to do, and they have so many financial and family ties. I mean, ultimately, we cannot win our country back until the next election.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
And you know, for me personally, I'm not coming home until this far out. I don't trust them. I don't trust them. I don't want to be anywhere around them. I don't want to be anywhere. I don't want to be around their followers. I don't want to be around the violent hard left. I don't want to be around the Islamists or the pro-Palestine people. I do not want to be in their company. So if that means I've got to stay here, that is what I will do when the time's right and we can win our country back through the ballot box, and then we can start taking people to task. I want to see some of these people standing in the dock.
Well, exactly. But you know, the biggest insult is when I flew back into England. As we would go, we were taxiing to where we needed to go. It came on and said, just to let you know, you're all going to have facial recognition and fingerprints to enter the country. And I just looked at this woman. I said, they are going after the wrong people. If you're a wrong un, you ain't going to go through an airport.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're so sophisticated. They'll have false passports. I mean, crying out loud, are they they're going for the wrong people. If you're a wrong un, you're not going to go through an airport.
Yeah. No, I agree. Mister, you want to try being me when you come back to Gatwick and see the fuss I have to go through.
Oh, I don't know how you put up with it. I really don't. And what they've done to do, I mean, you know, like Casey Hopkins and everything, what she got done for calling herself spaz. I mean, for crying out loud, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely mental.
And what happened to Graham Linehan? Well, I mean, that made him really ill. And I saw what it did to Danny as well.
Yeah.
And Danny's the sweetest person.
Yeah,
he really is.
He is. I won't tell him you said that, but he is. Missy, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for calling. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. Thank you,
darling. You take care.
And you look after yourself.
Yeah, thanks.
That's Mizzy there. Now, the line is actually free if anyone wants to come through. Let's have a little look at some of the supers. Debbie, thank you so much. Good evening, Paul and fellow Patriots. Daniel Donnelly, hi all. My prayers are here. Thank you very much, Daniel. Steve, UKIP March on the 25th of October in London. Please join. Thank you very much for that, Steve, and good luck on the 25th. Nechma, I'm not a Brit, so I have to ask, what does cancelling football have to do with anything? Is that a euphemism? Well, I think what I was saying was, the irony of it is that it feels like the only way you'll raise the British men into actually standing up for themselves is if they cancel the bloody football. That's all they seem to care about. And there's not a bigger football fan than me, but come on, let's get our priorities right. David Crosby, Islamophobia. What about Jewish phobia? Absolutely. There's plenty of that around. BCTV, thank you so much. A new member. Mark, thank you, mate. Yeah, lovely. Thanks, Paul. Another good one tonight. What are the chances we meet the day I go into Benidorm? Advance all UK all the way. Yeah, absolutely. That was crazy, mate, wasn't it? Janine, thank you. Hi, Paul. Went to my first Advance UK meeting yesterday, met Tony Mack. I'm now a volunteer. It's given me hope. Thanks for all you've done. Thank you so much, Janine. That's brilliant news. That's the supers done. Right, guys, listen, I've thrown out a challenge to the world. There's 2,600 people watching live. That is just on YouTube. There's more on Facebook, etc. If you haven't done so already, please don't forget to subscribe and give me an upvote as well. Mohammed is next in. Mohammed, good afternoon, good evening. I keep saying good afternoon. I don't know why. How are you? How can I help you, mate?
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good. I just came on to say hello, and I appreciate, Paul, everything what you do for the country and for to trying to enlighten people, because between me and you, this country is gone. I lived in this country for 35 years now, and I've never seen it like this. So really, I am very grateful to you, to Tommy, to a lot of people come on board and talk to people and trying to make them see the lights, really.
Mohammed, don't we just all want to live in peace together?
That's right, yeah. Everybody wants to live in peace. And to be honest, with the, I'm not just going to blame Labour government, but Conservative government as well. Let a lot of people in, and we don't know these people. They've got no DBS checks. They've got nothing. So I am very.
What part of the country are you from, mate?
Morocco.
No, what part of the country are you from in the UK?
In the UK, I am from Nuneaton.
Okay. So you're a Muslim by birth, I take it?
I am, yeah.
And are you a practicing Muslim now, or are you a former Muslim?
No, I am practice Muslim, and my wife is Christian, because Islam is very peaceful religion. If you know the because my wife is Christian now, and her religion have to stay as it is, because as a Muslim person, you're not allowed to tell people what to do.
Yeah.
And that's the right way.
So where's the problem coming from with these extremists? What separates them from the average good Muslim that is working hard, integrating? Where's the problem? I mean, tell the viewers how you see it.
Well, the thing is, I've said this a long time ago in one of the shows in 1995, I think. I came live in one of the shows and I said, if you keep letting these people in, you're gonna have problems. And the problem is, people are not just integrating. This is not just the first thing. Is they don't want to. They don't want to change. They just don't want to change. And for me, if you don't want to change, you need to go back. And England kept tolerating and tolerating and tolerating and this is the problem. Because if they stopped it there and then and say, right, we don't want this. If you don't like it, you need to go. We would have been better off a long time ago. We wouldn't have these issues. Now, if I walk in the street, they think I'm one of them, you know, all these kind of thing, and that's why I am not safe. I'm not a safe person here. It's like the other day, there was a march about to go to protest about some asylum seekers did something wrong, and I thought to myself, can I go to the march or not? And my stepdaughter, she's white. She was just jokingly laughing at me and say, "Oh, you chickened it. You couldn't go." Because you feel like you want to do something. You want to go and protest and say, "Look, these people are not welcome here." But in the other hand, you think you're going to be picked on, and you're an innocent person. You know.
Do you know
This
what,
is-
Mohammed? Do you know what,
Yeah.
Mohammed? There's one thing I will say. I can absolutely, categorically guarantee you that if you went along to one of those marches, you would be made more than welcome. I
Oh yeah,
guarantee
definitely.
it. I
I've
guarantee it.
I've got loads of friends. I'm just saying, for example, just in case you get into the wrong people, which is
Yeah.
I don't blame them. I wouldn't blame them because it's not because they don't know I'm a good person or not.
Mm.
And this is the issue I've been saying a long time ago. I say I am going to get hurt one day because of other people's. What they've done to this country, basically. These people are not going to offer anything here. That are not educated. They haven't brought any talent with them. All they're going to be in obviously they don't speak English. They're going to be learning English for 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 years. That 6 years is already gone. The taxpayers taking paying all the bills. Then another 6 years looking for a job, which they don't really want to work.
Yeah.
That's 12 years, and then and so on and so forth. So therefore, they are not going to pay anything. So it's just me, you, and other white people who are going to be paying the price, which is they're going to our taxes is going to go up and everything.
I think they're going to take it all from us, mate. That's what I think. I'm really sorry to hear that. You might feel in danger because of the actions of the bad guys. The ironical part is that in the UAE, they don't have this problem because they won't accept the wrong ones. We've been
That's
taking
right.
the wrong ones, and that's the problem.
Yeah, and I've been saying it all the time. I don't know if it's the establishment wants to harbor. They harbor all these criminals. Any wrong person, they just want to harbor them and give them a home and give them and it's me, you, and everybody else going to be paying the price. It's like I was watching a Tommy. There's a video in Jerusalem. He was interviewing some English people there, and he was saying that they feel safe in Jerusalem than in England. And I was so shocked. Shocked. I was shocked, really.
Mohammed, that is the way it is, my friend. I mean, look, thank you so much for ringing in. I really appreciate it, mate. And you are more than welcome. And please go along to one of them protests one day and mix with your people, brother.
I will. I will.
Take care. Thank you
so
much.
Thank you very much. Take
All
care.
the best.
Bye-bye.
God bless you, mate. Bye-bye. 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 Next up, we have Grim Reaper. Good evening.
Hi, mate.
How you doing?
Not too bad.
Good. What's on your mind?
Right. The thing with me is...
It's a bit early for Halloween, by the way, looking at your picture there.
Right. The thing is with me is I know where everyone stands. Because my granddaughter has been groomed and she's had a child. And now she's had the child, she don't know who the father is or anything.
Right.
Now she don't want the child anymore. She's giving it up. And my daughter had to take it on. And now she's back with the grooming gang.
Oh dear.
So I'm in this situation where it's very hard to pick one side or the other.
I mean, are the police involved? Is it an ongoing?
No, what it is she ran away. She ran away for 5 months.
How old is she? I can ask how old she is.
She was 15 at the time.
Wow.
And now she's 16.
Right. So she ran away, fell pregnant, came back, and has gone again.
Yep, she's left a kid behind. She signed a kid over and everything else from a daughter. And I go to a protest every week where I live. Over 600 asylum seekers in one hotel. And we just found out that 5 HMOs have just been made for the asylum seekers.
What area are we talking about here?
Lancashire.
Lancashire.
Yeah, Blackpool.
Right. Okay. I mean, going back to your daughter for a moment, if she's, she's still a minor. Is it not something the police will show any interest in, or are they just washing their hands of it?
Totally washed their hands of it. They said because she's a runaway and because she's on the drugs and the drink, she just totally washed her hands of it.
Jesus. How does that make you feel?
Being a grandfather and a father, I absolutely starting to hate this country now. I don't recognise the country no more.
I don't think any of us do, mate.
It's just not the country I was brought up in.
Look, that's an absolute fact. We know that. You're gonna, my mind's spinning about your daughter now. She's still only 16.
My granddaughter is only 16.
Your granddaughter, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. And
shocking.
She just turned around and said to the social services, I don't want a child. I'm not ready to have a child. I'm still a teenager. I want to be a teenager. And now she's back with them, drinking and drugs.
I'd call the police, mate. Well, you say you've already done it, but
we've done it many times. They won't do nothing. She was actually living in a dormitory for 5 months with a 18-year-old, and she was 15, and the police said there was nothing we can do.
I'm lost for words. Shocking.
That's why now I go out and do what I do and document everything.
Yeah. Jesus, what have they done to our kids?
They're ruining them, mate. They're absolutely ruining them. I mean, she lives in London still. And London, well, she lives just on the outskirts of London. And it is, the majority there is probably 60% Muslim now.
That's, well, mate, I don't know what to say. Don't know what to say. Horrible.
It's nothing can happen. It's just life. You just got to live with it, roll with it, and do the best you can for your kids and grandkids.
That is my absolute 100% philosophy. 100%.
If I wasn't disabled, I would take my kids and grandkids away. I'd get out of here.
Yeah. That's a powerful call, mate.
I'm sorry, but I just had to tell you. It's been on my mind for a long time.
That is why I do what I do. That is why we're here. This is what it's all about, mate. And I just, I wish I wish we could help. You know, the only way that we can help is if we fight this together by getting together at the ballot box and making sure we make a difference. We've got to get rid of these bastards that have done this to us. And it's not just Labour, it's the Tories as well. This uni pie that we've had for years and years and years. And I'm telling you now, reform ain't the answer either.
No, I absolutely agree with you. We need to get these out and get someone in with
They'll
with
do
the
shit.
grown-heads. We need someone with the grown-heads to say, get out of this country.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Mate, I wish you all the very best, and I wish, you know, your family all the very best. Thank you for calling in, and
Cheers, mate.
yeah, God bless you, mate. Look after yourself. Have a great
too.
great week if that's possible. That is a very powerful call. Look, I've invited on. We are live across the world. Danny's in the room. Good evening, Danny. Right, let me get my head straight for a minute. I've invited any Tommy haters on. No one's appeared. They normally don't because they know they haven't really got an argument, but it is what it is. Look, the mainstream media are shitting themselves because of one man. They are shitting themselves because there is a man in the UK, every now and again, one comes along. Churchill obviously comes to mind. Admiral Nelson, Lord Nelson. British history is full of names that over the years we have produced, and today we have one. His name's Stephen Yaxley Lennon. His movement is Tommy Robinson, and the mainstream media and the government are very frightened of this man, and they're frightened of him because of the video that I showed you earlier on. This man has the ability to raise 1 million people with a click of his fingers, 2, 3 million, however many you want to say it was in London on that day. I don't think it was 3 million. I don't think it was 2, in all honesty, but I think there was definitely 1 million people there plus. No one else can do that, and that is why they fear him. They fear him because he speaks the truth. They fear him because he speaks common sense. And they fear him because they know the people love him. Big Mac, thank you. The only time racism is acceptable is if Labour, if it's Labour and it suits their agenda. Absolutely. Thank you very much for that. Let's have a little look. Linford, 1978. Let's see if they're going to come on. There you go, Linford. How you doing, mate?
How you doing, Paul? Yeah, Paul, I just wanted to say, you know, lovely to talk to you, mate, and glad that you're doing this show. And, you know, that gentleman that just was talking, oh, my God, you know, I felt his pain. And, you know, I want to say, you know, I love Tommy. He's really tough. I love Tommy dearly. I'm 47, sorry. And it was through Tommy that he gave me the ability with all his work that he does, you know, and feeding us with all this information, especially with regards to the rape gangs and all that. And I was sexually abused, Paul, for many years, and I never told anybody. And I come from a very, very large family, Paul, and my family completely turned against me because of it. And the ripple effect. When I went to the police to press charges, Paul, they literally made me feel like the one that was in the wrong, you know. And when I finally did come out with it, and Tommy gave me the strength to do it, you know, it's caused so much, you know, it's had a huge impact. I'm divorced from my wife and everything else because of the impact it's had, because a lot of people, Paul, don't like that I follow Tommy, you know, and, you know, and I have every race in my family, Paul. It's not about race. Let's get this right.
No,
it's
never,
mate, you know,
it's never been around. It's never been about race, ever.
Yeah, you know, and people get it all mixed up. And you know what? The courage it took. And now what I do is I talk to others that have been through similar stuff, Paul. You know, and you know, there's a lot of sick people out there, Paul. You know,
there is,
but what I did, I ended up, the individual concerned, I ended up arranging their funeral, burying them, and people were looking at me like, what are you doing? And I said, I've done this to get myself out of prison that I imprison myself within mentally. And you know what? The healing I got from doing that, Paul, was immense. And thereby for the grace of God.
Sorry, I'm not quite sure what you mean the last bit. Explain it to me a bit better. Sorry.
But basically, I got told that the person concerned was dying. So I went to the hospital, Paul. I'll be honest with you, it was my dad's dad. It was my granddad. And I went to the hospital. He had dementia. He shouted out, Les, Les. I went over to him. I gave him a kiss. I said, Granddad, I forgive you. I love you, and God forgives you too. He died the next morning. I sorted out all this stuff with his funeral, carried his coffin, put him in the ground. And the release I got from doing that, Paul, set me free from the prison that I imprisoned myself within mentally. You know, and it turned out that he was a paedophile. And my family don't have nothing to do with me now because of that, because I stood my ground, you know, because I said, this ain't okay. And it turned out that he'd done it to lots of others in the family, but no one wants to talk about it, Paul, because I come from this big family in the East End that don't talk about that stuff. Do you know what I mean? It gets swept under the carpet, which is a load of, I ain't even going to swear, but B and ends with X.
Yeah.
You know? And
so how are you now? How are you now?
I still have counselling. I still have therapy, Paul. I still have therapy. You know, I still have flashbacks and nightmares around stuff. That's my truth. You know, and I don't want to go into too much detail because I've done lots of trauma therapy around it. But I can be asleep and wake up and just jump, and I have this smell, and the smell is of yeah. It's not nice.
So being around, you know, Tommy and the movement, as you say, it's helped you?
Totally. You know, and one of the biggest things, you know, I follow Tommy everywhere, and one of the biggest things is when I was up in London at the event and I was right at the front and everything else, you know, I idolised the man. I loved the man dearly because he gave me the ability to have a voice, Paul, because I was quite a loner up until that point, Paul, you know, and I kept myself to myself and just kept quiet. And he gave me a voice. I thought, no, do you know what? I'm going to stand my ground. I'm going to let people know, you know, the truth, you know. And okay, people want to have their own opinion and turn against me. That's okay. I know my truth. I can put my head on the pillow at night and sleep, Paul.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of sick people out there that want to brush stuff under the carpet as if it doesn't happen. You know, when we've got our own prime minister doing stuff, you know, with these Ukrainian boys, this is the reality of it, and this is the truth of it.
We better say allegedly on that one.
Allegedly, yes, of course, allegedly, yeah, of course. But I just hope, you know, that he gets out soon, Labour gets out soon, and someone else gets in. Because it's a shambles.
We need change. We need change, don't we?
Yeah,
we need
totally.
change.
We don't deserve this, Paul. We don't deserve this.
You know, I don't know what to say. You're very brave to come on and put your face on camera and tell us that story. I mean, I really appreciate it. And I'm sure that, you know, Tommy will be very proud to hear you say what you just said. Mate, you know, listen, we're one big family. That's the bottom line. You've got another family. That's us, you know, and this is what we do. We have each other's back, right?
Exactly, mate. And I love you dearly. Love you dearly, mate.
Yeah, brilliant, mate. You know, and we're proud of you. So God bless you. And come back on another time as well. Yeah, let me know how you're getting on.
I will do, Paul. Thank you, mate. God bless you.
And you, mate. You take care.
God bless.
Take care, mate. And you take care, mate. All the best.
No, mate.
Wow, what a powerful show we've had tonight. I mean, I'd like to say I've enjoyed it, but the last couple of calls have been a bit tough. Let's have a little look. So we go back on. We're going to, no more callers tonight, guys. No more supers. Thank you very much. We're going to wrap it up. We've been on for 1 hour and 22 minutes, 1 hour, 22 minutes. But before we go, I'm going to play you a video. It is 2 minutes, 18 seconds long. Anyone out there that believes the bullshit I've heard about Stephen Lennon, about Tommy Robinson, watch this video. America is ready, is willing, is waiting. Donald Trump, get this man by your side. JD Vance, get this man in the White House. Why? Because he's the greatest British leader since Churchill. And I'll tell you who does know it.
I need to call my dad is here and you love
Me and my shit.
I'm sorry.
No, thank you.
And you know what, from my own experience, because the Board of Deputies say I'm not welcome, they make all these comments, I've come under a lot of attack, I've been shown nothing but love since the minute I stepped off the plane in Israel, from the people, nothing but love.
Greatly for Israel.
Thank you,
we
brother.
support you. We love you.
Thank
we
you.
love you.
Thank you very much.
Keep on, keep on.
Yeah,
It's good that you're here.
No, I'm very well, man.
Thank you so much.
I'm having a great time.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm honoured to be
after
here.
you. That's good. It's good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Keep doing amazing work, brother. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
It's great to have you, be with you. It's amazing to have the support, and thank you for everything.
Thank you very much,
It's
mate.
amazing.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm from Manchester.
You're from
I live
Manchester?
here. It's
When
beautiful
did
to
you
be
move
here.
here?
I moved here 10 years ago. I moved around the whole country. I've lived in many different places, and it's just so important to have support from everyone around the world. And we see so
love
much
you, man.
negativity,
Thank you, bro.
and
Thank
we
you.
need the positivity at the same time. So
Thank you, bro.
Have a wonderful
No,
weekend. Have a wonderful
I've had a
trip
great
here.
time so far, man.
We love you. We're Londoners.
You're Londoners.
We're Londoners and we love you.
Have you moved here? Do you live here now?
No, we just came for a visit.
Oh, you come for a visit?
We live in Edgewood.
Okay.
Don't give up.
No, I won't, bro.
Don't give up. We not give up. Don't give up.
Tommy, you're a legend. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you very much for everything you're doing. It's very important for the creation and the longevity of the Jewish state. Thank you very much. שקלי, תודה שהזמנת אותו. תודה רבה.
They're singing the British national anthem.
English, it's a Muslim country. You lose it. That's it.
He says it's
You need to wake up, you know.
England's a Muslim
Israel,
country.
That's the light. And you want to turn the light, you're going to be in the dark. You know, wake up. We want good. We don't want bad.
England's a Muslim country, he says.
Yes, ma.
She wants a mic.
Who is the mayor of London? 9 city, you have Muslim mayor, you know.
I know.
Wake up.
You want to hold the mic?
You can't hold the flag of England.
Here, Sammy, you can hold it. You can hold the mic.
Donald Trump, JD Vance, Keir Starmer is not our leader. Bobby Robinson is. Good night, everyone. God bless, and I'll see you soon.